Welcome to the Art of Classiness podcast, a show where we redefine what it means to be a classy lady. And sometimes it's messy. I'm Robin.
And I'm Deborah, two friends turned classy ladies who are here to discuss life's ups and downs, navigating the complexities of adulthood, and how the gift of friendship is essential to belonging.
Valentine's Day is almost here, and we're not doing the usual romance or sadness script. We're giving all of the gorgeous single ladies out there two beautiful, partner-free ways to celebrate love this February.
We'll talk about why these paths matter, how they empower us to be pickier in relationships, and why love starts with you and your people. No romantic partner required.
So follow along, give us your feedback, and don't forget to like and subscribe.
What's up, classy ladies and gentlemen? Hey, Robin. How's it going?
Hi. So I want to tell you about my journey the last 2 weeks in the kitchen, creating a protein custard.
Okay, a journey with custard.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've been having trouble having a regular routine with my eating. Like sometimes it's hard to make myself eat, which can be a side effect of the medications I'm on.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking, okay, I need to get more protein. I need more protein. I'm working out more. It's important. And so I took a bunch of ingredients that I felt like would go good together because I've used them in different ways, plugged it into AI and was like, what kind of tasty treat can I make with these ingredients? Because that seems to be one of the things that I'm okay with eating a ton of.
Okay, yeah.
So I might as well try to make a healthier version of that.
Mm-hmm.
And AI and myself came up with a custard recipe. And it's extremely high in protein. It's pretty low in carbohydrates, and it's very low in fat. So I could eat a whole one of these in one day, get enough calories, and hit all of my macros, pretty much.
Yeah, let's hear it.
It's protein powder, which I use an unflavored 100% beef version.
Wow.
Eggs. I use chia seed and psyllium husk for fiber. Some almond milk. I put in some cocoa powder to get some chocolate flavor.
Yeah.
Maple syrup as my sweetener.
Mm-hmm.
And then the base is half cottage cheese and half Greek yogurt. And you throw all that stuff in a blender. I think I use some cinnamon too and a little bit of vanilla.
Mm-hmm.
And you just puree the crap out of it until it's like silky smooth.
Yeah.
I've learned a lot about how to make a custard since then, because at first I was just using pie dishes because it's all I had, but that's not the best for a custard because you want it to cook evenly throughout. So
Oh, you're cooking this.
Yeah, because it has the egg. It has to set, has to cook and set.
Right. Okay.
So now I'm using a springform pan, and you like put it in a bath of water. Custards and cheesecakes should go inside a water bath because it helps it cook more evenly. It can prevent it from that deflated caving in that you see in cheesecakes sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've been playing around with that, learning about what kind of texture I'm looking for, the flavor, all these things. And today was my fourth one. I added a few new ingredients, added a little bit of salt for one thing, and it's resting in the fridge right now. I can't wait to try it. But I mean, all the other ones I've made have been good. I'm just trying to perfect it now because this just feels like the ultimate healthy cheat meal.
Yeah. I got to tell you, when you said tasty treat and then you started with a beef protein powder.
But it doesn't taste like beef.
It took a left turn in my mind. I got to tell you, it took a left turn in my mind.
Seth has tasted my custard and he likes it.
Okay.
I haven't had anyone else taste it yet just because I am trying to perfect it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what this one tastes like today.
Yeah.
But that has been like my whole week. Every other day is like I'm making a new recipe, trying to get this just right. But it's also my breakfast. It's a nice snack in the middle of the day, and it's a tasty treat at night.
I love it. I think that's great, especially people talk a lot about weight loss journeys, right? But there are people who are on like weight gain journeys or just like food and diet journeys that have nothing to do with a caloric deficit and more of like just trying to get the right type of macros in, the right type of calories in. And that's like a whole other challenge for people that I just don't think we talk enough about. So I think that's a great idea to just take, okay, what am I eating and how can I make this healthy, or how can I make sure I'm getting the right amount of food every day and like hitting the right food group? So I think that's a great idea to like leverage technology to just like come up with a recipe like that.
Yeah.
And now it's something that you really enjoy and something that you're perfecting.
Yeah.
It just like reminds me of like how Taylor Swift has fallen down the sourdough rabbit hole.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So that's awesome. I mean, I can't wait. I would love to try it. I need another reason to go out to Bend, witness the curling team in action, hit the slopes and eat some beef custard.
Yes. I have a whole itinerary planned for you.
I know. I can't wait.
Lots for you to do here.
Yeah.
Next week. Is it next week?
Anytime now. Anytime.
So yeah, that's me. How are you? How are you doing?
I'm good. Speaking of skiing, I went with the boys earlier this week to celebrate George's birthday.
Aww.
My sweet little baby George is 10.
Wow.
Which is so crazy.
They're both into 2 digits.
I know, which is like insane. So he has had quite the birthday week, but my oldest son is in ski club. And so I left work early and took George up to meet Max at ski club. And I have not gone skiing in 20 years. And I am really good at skiing, you guys.
That's awesome.
Got up there and just went for it. I didn't fall once on the hill. Now, there's a huge asterisk to this, and that is I am really good at skiing in Ohio. Okay.
Yeah, I noticed you said hill.
Yeah. These are hills. Okay. These are not. Now, this is like further up north, like going towards Cleveland in like the northeast part of the state. So it's a little bit more of a terrain than it is in where I live in Columbus. But yeah, I mean, if I were to take this confidence to Bend, it would be probably an entirely different story. But we had so much fun, the three of us, like just going up in the chairlift. And I went to their version of Black Diamond Hill. I mean, and I was like, you guys,
Were there moguls?
I don't know what that means, but sure.
It's like a bunch of little bumps everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going shoo, 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 just moving left and right and left and right. Yeah. I felt real confident.
Wow. I got to see this. I'll take you skiing when you come to Bend. Another activity.
I know. If it snows, hopefully it snows eventually up there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just a really great time. Just memories I will cherish with them for sure. Anytime I just feel like we're having fun together and that Max is really enjoying me being around. You know what I mean? Like I'm just chasing these moments with them. So it was really fun. And now George is 10 and he has a cell phone now. And he's just texting me nonstop.
Aww.
It's so cute. I woke up this morning to a text from him. Can I just read this?
Yes.
I don't want to be like that boy mom, but honestly, who is this kid? Mom, thank you for giving me the best birthday, even if it wasn't today, meaning like even if we didn't get to celebrate today. I still had a great time celebrating. I hope you have a great week.
I mean, what a wonderful thing to wake up to.
He's so cute.
Like, who needs a boyfriend?
I know. He just gives me all the love in the world. So he's my little sweetly deet. And who needs anything more than that,
The sweetheart.
Yeah. Well, speaking of love, this is Valentine's Day week. And while for some people, this is an exciting time to spend with your partner, other people may just be rolling their eyes at this holiday. So we wanted to talk a little bit about how if you're single, you can really reclaim this holiday and have it be something more exciting around not only just self-love, but really giving love to people in your life that are not romantic partners. Because long gone are the stereotypes of the single woman staying at home, eating bonbons and crying because she's not in a relationship on Valentine's Day, right? women are empowered to be single these days.
I know last year during Valentine's week, we wholly focused on Galentines. And it was great conversation. I think we gave a lot of good suggestions and recommendations on things you can do with your girlfriends on that day. But we thought we would kind of give this year's Galentines a twist in that you don't have to only celebrate Galentines if you don't have a partner. And, when you talk about the sad single woman trope of crying with your bonbons on the couch, like immediately my mind goes to Bridget Jones's Diary, where she is laying on the couch, drinking wine in her PJs, singing All by Myself.
Yes, I love that scene.
She was just let loose, man. This is where I am in my life.
Yep. She was owning it.
But I think that was New Year's, but it really gave that cliche single person on Valentine's Day vibe.
Yeah.
So we want to flip that on its head. No one needs to be sad on Valentine's Day, okay?
So for me, one of the best parts about being single is the time and energy that I get to pour into my female friendships. Galentine's Day is an unofficial holiday that is officially awesome, in my opinion, and is observed on February 13th. So that way, if you are in a relationship and that person insists on doing something romantic on the 14th, you still can do something with your girlfriends the day before. And if you want a whole list of awesome things to do, you should go back and listen to our Galentine's Day episode,
which is actually episode 14.
That is so cute.
Right?
Oh my God. I love that.
Yeah.
So listen to episode 14 for a whole list of ideas of things to do on Galentine's Day. But let's talk about why Galentine's is important, or just why spending time with your friends, if you're a guy, is important too.
I think I've said this before, but I actually love Galentine's way more than Valentines. Partially because I've never dated anyone who, and I think most women can say that. Most men don't try very hard to do anything for Valentine's. Seth is one of those people. He doesn't see any reason for it. He's like, I like to celebrate you every day. Like, I don't need Valentine's Day, which fair.
Yeah.
And so I've just never had an attachment to that holiday. Whereas, some people, it's their favorite holiday. But Galentine's, when I saw this on Parks and Rec, it made that time of February like way more exciting for me, because one of my favorite things to do is to celebrate my friends and be together as a group. So you're telling me like we have another holiday where we get to do that and use it as an excuse to get together? Yes, please.
Yes, please.
And I found a study from the Harvard Nurses Health Study where they found that women with more friends are less likely to develop physical impairments as they age and more likely to lead joyful lives. Social ties increase survival rates even after spousal death.
Oh.
So you got to be nourishing these friendships well before you lose your spouse, okay?
Well, I think maybe that has to do with why women live longer than men sometimes. I unofficially feel like I read that, when a man becomes a widow, they die sooner than when a woman loses her husband.
Yeah.
And I think that women nourish their female friendships for a long time, and they develop such a strong support system with other women. And, I really hope that we are getting to a point in society where men realize that they should open up and they should share and they should invest in their male friendships. Because unfortunately, I just feel like when men get older and they lose their spouse, there's not as many people around in their lives to check in and care for them and make sure that spiritually and emotionally that they're okay, And I think that really impacts like their other aspects of their health as well. And so that study does not surprise me that having so many other connections to whether it's like support or take care of you or just bring joy into your life. I mean, there is evidence that laughter is strong medicine, just for survival in general. So when you have that girl time, lunch with the girls or girls' nights or just whatever it is, and you can just recharge with that laughter. I mean, the impacts are just so profound, not only just for your day, but for long term in your life.
And those end up being the moments that you reminisce on the most. We went to Montreal in the summer of 2019. And we've done other trips together, but that one we talk about more because there was a lot of vulnerability, a lot of difficult conversations being had. I think you were just beginning your separation with your ex-husband. Two of us were talking about breaking up with our boyfriends.
Yeah.
There was a lot going on.
Huge transitions.
And having that group of pals there to just like talk through everything that you're feeling and be supported without judgment, it meant a lot.
Yeah.
And it's important to have more of those moments together.
Yeah. And as we get older, our lives get more complicated, our calendars get more full, and there's just like more reasons to kind of put off these group hangs. And so having an excuse, like it is Galentine's Day, we are putting this on the books, we are doing this, is just a great excuse to make sure that this can become a tradition with your friends, right? This is something that you can look forward to. This is something you can plan. And maybe this could be the one time in the winter that you even see your friends.
Yeah.
Because life does get in the way. So, make sure that this becomes a ritual for your health. You need it for your health.
It's vital for your health. It's very important. You got to do it. Writing you a prescription. Get together with your girlfriends.
Exactly.
Fun fact. So, I'm in a wine club. We meet once a month, and the woman that's hosting this month decided to do wine club on Galentine's Day. So on Friday, we're all getting together for wine tasting, but also like there's going to be some Galentine's activities. And I just love that we're going to be all together. And the wine that was chosen is port. So I think that's going to pair really nicely with a bunch of tasty treats. Desserts, chocolate, all the things that come with Valentine's. So I just love that I'm getting to do the thing that we enjoy talking about so much on that day.
Yeah, of course. And with new friends too.
Yeah.
That's so great. So yeah, definitely schedule time with the girls. Make sure that you are celebrating Galentine's Day. And if it's too late to do it this year, make sure you think about next year. And you know what? If you have to do it the week later, or even just if this is just giving you an idea to get the girls together next week, next month, just put it on the calendar. It's good for you. It's good for your health.
Yeah. Even if you don't do anything on that day, just let it be a reminder that it's time. It's time to make it happen. It's time to get together. Whatever that looks like. Whoever fills your cup. Those are the only people that you want around when you're celebrating love. Just your besties and love. That's all that is allowed.
Exactly. So Galentine's is great because you can celebrate it whether you have a partner or not. But for single people, sometimes Valentine's Day can be a little triggering, especially because for so long we have had to endure so many unflattering tropes of the spinster.
I'm sorry, did you mean sphinxter?
Sphinxter. I'll never live it down. I had to write it down and put it in all caps and put it in bold so I would get it right.
I was wondering if that was why.
That's why. But, the spinster, the childless cat lady, right? All of these unsavory terms that people, God forbid, if you're any older than 25 and are single, and this could be a day where you're just like, ugh, you don't even want to deal with it. And thankfully, the tides are turning and the perception of being single is now a very empowering thing, right? For me, I'm 42. Now, mind you, I'm divorced. So I feel like it's a little different. I don't quite feel like I'm in the same boat as maybe someone who's never been married. But I don't think that I will ever get married again either. That doesn't feel like it's in the cards for me, nor do I feel like that is a path I want to choose again. And now that feels very empowering for me. And I feel like I'm in great company because more and more women are choosing this path. In fact, according to a 2019 Morgan Stanley forecast and a U.S. Census Bureau data collection, 45% of women from ages 25 to 44, which some could argue are like prime marrying ages, will be single by 2030, which is the largest share in history. And that's up 41% from 2018.
Honestly, I love to see it.
I love to see it too. And it's crazy that like when it happens to women, like it's a very empowering thing. And yet we're talking about a male loneliness epidemic. But it's like when we talk about women doing it, we're like, we're so empowered. And the reason is because women are just like not really settling anymore.
We have higher standards. We know what we deserve. And we want reciprocation.
Yeah. Here's the thing that also, not to get sidetracked, but there is kind of a grieving process when you realize like, oh, I can't tolerate that anymore.
Yeah.
You know, that part people don't talk about enough when you realize like, God damn it, I can't tolerate that anymore. That sucks. Like I have to end this relationship because my standards are higher. And I could just turn a blind eye to this, but I can't now because I have self-respect.
I know what I deserve. It's not this.
I know what I deserve now. And that sucks because now I have to break up with this person.
Yeah. And you have to start all over.
And you got to start all over or just choose to like not date, which I kind of chose to do over this past year. And now it's like, I don't really care about spending a Valentine's Day alone. And we talked a little bit about, I had New Year's Eve talk about Bridget Jones, that scene where she's drinking wine and singing all by myself. I had my own version of a Bridget Jones moment, but I made the decision that I was going to make myself a beef Wellington, make myself chocolate covered strawberries, have this great night to myself, like treat myself in that moment because I wanted to set the standard for myself in the beginning of the year that this is the love I expect for myself. I expect someone to be thoughtful and care for me, put the labor in, do the extra things, literally like put the cherry on top. And I need to set that standard for myself instead of just giving it to someone else and hoping that they will reciprocate, which is what I've always done.
Yeah, we hope for the best, right? Something else that I think is interesting about what you said, I know we're talking about Valentine's Day, you were referencing New Year's, but I think both holidays kind of have that overshadowing of you got to have a partner on this day. You got to have someone to kiss at midnight. You got to have someone to take you on a date. You got to have someone to give you flowers. And it's like you can literally do all those for yourself.
Yeah.
And still celebrate on that day. You can celebrate the new year, the new you, the version of you that you are, the version of you that you love, and just have a good time. A lot of people have placed so much weight on whether or not they have what society deems a successful life.
Yeah.
And that's what we're trying to flip on its head here.
You make such a good point because there are really strong parallels between those 2 days and the expectation of like, who are you spending it with? And so reframing Valentine's Day as a day of self-love, of like really taking that trope of like sitting on the couch and eating bonbons. I'm like, sitting on the couch eating bonbons. Hey, like that sounds so great to me. Are you kidding me? Are you joking?
I mean, I told you about my New Year's Eve where I just had a lap full of chocolate.
Yeah.
I was happy on the couch.
Amazing. Like, I love spending time with myself. I think I'm great company. And then I look back and I'm like, man, I was really doing a lot. I was carrying a lot of the personality load. Quite frankly, most of my relationships were magical because I was the magic, right? And so I don't mind spending time with myself. And I think if you are in that stage of your life where you are choosing to be single, this can be a great day of self-celebration. And that's really the mindset that you should have. And if you are maybe on the fence where you're not bummed to be single, but you are not really taking the time to take care of yourself, like let this be your sign that take this day, take the weekend, right? What is this, Saturday this year? What a day.
Yeah.
What a day to say, you know what? I'm going to book that facial. I'm going to buy myself a nice new outfit, right?
Yes.
I'm going to eat alone at the bar, not to attract another person, but because I want to eat at this restaurant and just enjoy the food and have a nice drink.
Go get your favorite martini. I love a bar with a good martini.
Yeah. Or whatever your drink of choice.
Yeah. Something that I decided to do for myself next week is get a blowout.
Ooh.
So it's kind of funny. I have been doing like a really terrible job at washing my hair. Like I'm washing my hair, but it doesn't get washed.
Tell me more.
It just ends up greasy still.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm like, do I need to switch shampoos? Am I not getting in there enough? I don't know. And so I was like, maybe I should just let someone else do this.
Yeah.
And see what that feels like. So on Friday before wine night Galentines, I'm getting a blowout, baby.
I really can't wait to see this. I can't wait. I can't wait to see these results.
I mean, I have short hair, so there's not a whole lot they can do, but it'll be washed. That is for certain.
It just feels good when they just like get in there, you know?
Yes. Massage my head.
Yes. A head. I've long just wanted a place that will just massage your head.
It's different when someone else does it.
It really is.
When you have to do it to yourself, even if you have one of those machine things, it's like, it's not the same.
No.
Anyway, I digress. But yeah, get yourself a blowout. Go to the nail salon. Or if you don't want to leave the house, plan a romantic night at home with yourself. Take a bath. Get a nice bath bomb. I bought these CBD bath bombs that levels up your bath. I'm telling you. It's so relaxing.
Oh, that does sound good.
And then you just get in there and open a book or set up your iPad and watch your favorite show with a glass of wine or a cup of tea. Doesn't that sound so nice?
It does sound so nice.
Well, treat yourself. And you can do this any day of the year.
That is the best part. This can be, very similar to New Year's, kind of setting the stage. This could be the kickoff to you deciding to do this to yourself for the rest of the year, right? Like this does not have to just be a Valentine's Day thing. This could be like, you know what? This should be something I do once a month. I'm going to set time aside to treat myself once a month to make sure that I understand my own value. I understand my own worth. So that way I'm not tolerating anything less than that. So that way I'm not allowing someone into my life that I'm like lowering my standards to let in, Romantic partner or otherwise.
Yeah,
it's not even about lowering your standards for a relationship. It's about lowering your standards for the kind of work environment you're in, the kind of friendships that you still have, right? Even your family relationships, the way that your family is treating you. Like,
absolutely.
Your self-love can really dictate what you tolerate from all aspects of your life.
Self-love sets the standard for how others should treat you. The way you treat yourself is the baseline. And if someone is treating you less than that, get them out of there. Later, haters.
You are what you tolerate.
So
raise the bar for yourself and start on Valentine's Day.
Okay, so we've touched on our beloved Galentines, where you can make that day all about celebrating your closest friendships. And then Valentine's Day, where, you can celebrate with a partner. But if you don't have a partner, there are tons of wonderful ways where you can still enjoy that holiday and date yourself. So let's put it all together. Let's make this the ultimate weekend of love. Day one is with the friends. It's your group date where you are focusing on connection. And then the next day, Valentine's Day, that's date with yourself or include somebody if you want, but make it all about self-restoration. What are you doing to nourish your own needs?
Yeah. And maybe you can gain inspiration for how to nourish yourself by being around your girlfriends, Life is so stressful. You may be overworking yourself, overexerting yourself in so many areas in your life that Galentine's Day just could be the day that you just sort of let loose, right? Let a little pressure out of the valve. And that could be the dysregulation day that you need to just allow room and just have that peace and quiet where you can allow yourself just to focus on what you need, whether it is just quiet time, alone time, or, maybe it's just going out and
having fun.
Like I said, getting a drink at the bar and eating some good food, whatever that means for you.
Yeah. It doesn't mean you have to be by yourself. You can still go be around people, meet new people. Just do it for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure it's what you want to do, not something you feel like you should be doing.
Yeah.
And something I love about the idea of combining these two things, like the day before, spending quality time with your best friends and hyping each other up. And then you get to Valentine's Day where maybe you don't have a partner and it's easy to default to like, oh, well, I can't celebrate Valentine's Day. Like, I don't have anyone to take me out on a date. Like, there's nobody that loves me. It's like, that's not true. You just left an entire group of people that love you. They just gave you so much evidence as to how amazing of a person you are and what you do deserve. Take that energy into Valentine's Day and be like, what would I want someone to do for me on a date today? And do that for yourself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you're going to realize what you actually expect from a partner. And it's really going to get you to reflect more on what love in a partnership actually means to you, I think.
And you know what I'm not going to say?
What?
Is, and the minute you stop trying to look for someone,
oh my God,
the minute that you start focusing on yourself,
no,
is when who cares? You know what? Who cares?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter. The point of you focusing on yourself is not so a man can come in and you can stop focusing on yourself. All right.
Exactly.
So just keep doing you. And then if a guy comes along, great. But guess what? That shouldn't be a reason that you stop focusing on loving yourself.
Exactly. Well, and I think it's easier to ignore a lot of men who might normally garner your attention because it's easier to spot we're not falling for it.
Right.
I don't need your attention.
Nope.
And I think that is like the ultimate goal for any of us fiercely independent women.
Right.
Is I love myself so much that you're not going to get there. You're not going to get anywhere close. And I can tell already. So.
Right. And look, this is not a male bashing session.
Not at all.
Right. It is just that.
It's not male bashing. It's female empowerment.
Yeah. Just because we love ourselves more doesn't mean that you are worth less.
Yeah.
But you just got to meet our demands. Sorry.
You need to work harder to get our attention.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of guys will try to do the bare minimum to see what they can get away with.
Yeah.
And that's what we're not putting up with anymore. It doesn't make the guys bad guys. It's just they're having to relearn how to be a provider in this day and age.
Yes.
And it's our job to lead the way.
Yeah. I mean, men are given chances that they didn't even ask for. Okay. Men don't even know how many chances that they are given that they didn't even ask for so long.
I bet they didn't even know.
They didn't even know that they were given these chances over and over again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And so I just think women have just gotten to a point where we're tired of doing that labor and we would rather put that energy towards ourselves. So, I think for a lot of women who are in this position, just do that work on yourself. And, when men finally catch up, these relationships are going to be outstanding.
Exactly. And a lot of those relationships do exist today. And I think more and more focus is starting to be on those kinds of relationships, which I love to see.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I feel like Seth and I are a great representation.
I was just going to say, you are a perfect example of that because you, Robin, did the work on yourself for a very long time. And the universe rewarded you with someone who did not require you to do the emotional labor. He met you where you were and has given you so much in return. And that's a perfect example of that.
Yeah.
There you go. So treat yourselves, women and gals and men and men.
Yeah. Everyone treat yourself.
So whether it's Galentines with your friends or Valentines with yourself, this month is about love. So enjoy it. Give it to yourself and give it to the ones that matter.
I'm doing a heart shape.
Heart hands.
The millennial heart shape.
Yeah, the true heart hand. Okay, well, let's move on to our class act of the week. This is where Robin and I take turns highlighting a person, place, or even a parasocial relationship that we feel embodies all of our class act commandments. And this week, it is Robin's turn. Robin, what do you got for us?
My class act this week goes to Sarah Pointer from Alone Season 11. Seth and I have been binging this show over the weekend. Every time we see like a new to us season pop out, we have to binge it. So for those of you who haven't seen Alone, the show is about 10 survival experts who get dropped alone in the Arctic with close to nothing. They get to choose like 10 items to bring. And basically, the last one standing wins $500,000. It's not like you have to stay out there this long. It's just whoever's there last wins $500,000. So Sarah made it to the top 4, which that alone is absolutely incredible. But what really got me was how open she was in speaking about how much she was doubting herself the whole time. So you hear her talk through all of this fear, her second guessing, the am I good enough thoughts that creep in whenever you're left alone with your own mind for weeks on end. She ends up having to tap out because of like very severe kidney pain. As she's walking out, she has this beautiful moment of realization. And she basically said, I could not have survived this long in the Arctic with almost nothing if I don't actually know my shit. So she left this game like really knowing and believing that she is far more capable than she has ever given herself credit for, which I completely identify with. So maybe she didn't win $500,000, but she walked away with real confidence in who she is and what she can do. And that kind of self-discovery is extremely powerful and utterly priceless.
Yeah.
Sarah, you are a very classy lady who proved to yourself and all of us watching that you're more than enough. And that's my class act.
Oh, so good. Love that.
Thanks.
That is so good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's get to one of our favorite segments, our class or crass. This is where we give a fake scenario, but sometimes it has real consequences. Are you ready for this week's class or crass?
So ready. Let's go.
Okay. You're in line at bingo. A friend shows up late, so you buy them their bingo card. And their card ends up winning. You're happy for them, but deep down, you know, spiritually, emotionally, and logistically, that was your bingo card. So the question is it crass to ask them for part of the winnings, since that card would have been yours? Or classy to just let it slide?
Okay, the way you read this sounds personal. Is this a real story?
Listen. It mirrors a real story. So in Austin, I think they still do this. There's a place called Ginny's Little Longhorn. Is that what it's called?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
where they do chicken shit bingo. Okay. And it's almost exactly what it sounds like. And actually, I don't know what that sounds like, but to me, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
There is a bar, and in that bar, there is a chicken coop, and there is a grid on the bottom of the chicken coop. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody goes in line, and you buy a ticket that has a number on the ticket. And the chicken comes out, and if the chicken shits on your number, you win like the kitty of money. Okay. I'm standing in line. And my bar manager cuts in front of me. Okay, cuts in front of me.
He cut.
I think it was like one of those things like he was, he's like, hey, and I kind of was like, okay, fine, get in here. He buys a raffle ticket. I get a raffle ticket. He wins. It's like $300. He keeps the whole kitty.
Of course. Of course he does.
Of course he does. It was Keith. If you were wondering, it was Keith. Okay. Fedodos, if you're listening to this.
Never, ever, ever make a bet with Keith.
Never make a bet with Keith. Yeah.
We learned that.
And he kept the kitty. And I personally felt like, can you at least buy me a beer? Can you at least buy me, can you give me something?
Yeah.
That personally felt like that should have been my number.
And it means so much more because we were so broke.
So broke. So unbelievably broke. So broke. So I personally think that I was entitled to that winnings, but I would love to hear from you, Robin. Do you think it's classy or crass to do this?
So that is a little different, the chicken shit bingo. But if you're actually at a real bingo place, which I used to go to bingo a lot, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I did win on my birthday. Fun fact.
Oh, fun.
The one that I would go to, you'd get a sheet of 6 and be for 6 games.
Mm-hmm.
And you could buy multiples. So yeah, sometimes I bought a set for somebody. It would be really difficult to just be cool with it because the winnings at the place I went to, certain games you could win 500, certain games you could win 750.
Oh,
it's a lot of money.
Damn. That's a lot of money.
And I think if you did your friend a solid, you're the reason that they have that winning ticket, I think you are allowed something.
Yeah.
Maybe not 50%. Maybe they could give you $100 from us. Throw me a bone. Show me any ounce of appreciation for being the reason you won.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Otherwise, I'm never buying you shit again.
1,000%. If you're the person who wins and you act like you're entitled to 100% of those earnings, I think that says way more about you.
Yeah.
Way more about you.
And I've known people like that. There's a lot of them out there.
Yeah. There's a lot of them out there. They feel entitled to it. Ugh.
Well, they just don't care.
And they don't care.
They don't care about you benefiting from their success, even if you are the reason they succeeded.
No.
Like you said, you can learn a lot about someone in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
And it might make you question how genuine the friendship is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It would be tough.
It would be tough.
Because everybody's friendship is different. Some people, that's their love language, talking shit. But for me, I would be hurt. I would be upset.
It would really get under my skin, I tell you. It would really get under my skin to just watch somebody be like, oh my God, I won the whole thing. And just be like, did you? Did you?
Yeah.
How'd you do it? How'd you win the whole thing?
Yeah, actually, you still owe me money for buying that ticket. You know what? You don't have to pay me back. I'll just claim that as mine.
I'll just get my share. Yeah. So, I mean, I guess you could say it's classy to let it slide, but I'm not going to forget.
Yeah.
I'm not going to forget.
I mean, I wouldn't say the only classy thing is to let it slide. There are other classy ways to handle it. It doesn't have to turn into any kind of altercation, but
no.
I don't think it's crass to broach the subject.
Right.
Some people are afraid to say anything, and in that moment, I would find that difficult. But I also don't know what I would do. It really depends on the friend that's there with you.
Mm-hmm.
But if it was you and me, I think we know what we would do.
I feel like I would split the money. I would split the money.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be the fair thing to do. If you are in this situation and you don't want that awkwardness, here's how you do it. If you don't want that awkwardness, but you also don't really want to give up 50% of the money, right? Because you're like, $750 is a lot more than $375. Like if I knew I could have had $750, like, yeah, I'd give you $375, but it would be like, fuck, I could have had $750. You know what I mean? So like it's the right thing to do, but like, do I really want to give half of it up? So if you're in this situation and you buy the 2 cards to give to your friend, you make them choose which one. Okay?
Oh.
That way, it's completely up to the odds. Or you make a third party pick. Which one is it going to be? Leave it up to the universe.
Here's another thought. I like that. That is a good plan.
Mm-hmm.
Or before the game starts, say, hey, since I bought both of these, if one of us wins, do you just want to split it?
Oh, yeah. Set the rules beforehand, 100%.
Because then, like, if you win, you could share with them. If they win, like, you could make it an ongoing thing, too. Just like, whoever wins, let's win together.
Yeah.
I like that. That's my favorite solution.
That's a great idea. Get ahead of the situation.
Exactly. Just avoid this altogether.
Mm-hmm.
Plan ahead.
Plan ahead. Yeah.
There you go.
There you go. But Keith McGrory, you owe me money and you know what you did. And it was wrong. We just gave you 2 beautiful ways to celebrate love this February, as well as any other day this year.
Valentine's Day might be a manufactured holiday, but it still reminds us that love for family, friends, and yourself is what matters most.
So whether you're going full Galentines, treating yourself, or skipping the whole thing, we're here for it. How are you spending your Valentine's Day this year? Solo plans? Friend tradition? Anti-Valentine energy? Tell us everything.
Drop your thoughts at artofclassiness@gmail.com or DM us on Instagram and TikTok at artofclassiness.
Thanks for hanging out with us today. And remember, classy is a state of mind.
So mind your classiness.
Bye.